Welcome back, guys, to episode 2 of the Medieval Dynasty series. Don't forget to like and subscribe below. So, I recorded like 6 hours of gameplay, maybe a little bit more, and I realised that I wasn't actually recording my voice the entire time, so I'm going to have to do a voiceover for the next couple of videos. I don't think I mentioned in the previous episode, I think I mentioned about the settings and stuff, but I'm going to go over it again anyway, just in case. But if you haven't watched the last episode, make sure you go and watch it, otherwise this episode won't really make any sense. So, settings-wise, the needs for the villagers, I've done it so they're all at 200%. So when they need wood, water, or food, it's going to be double the amount of what they normally would need. Reason being is that I think it's just a little bit too easy. Like, you already get an outfit, and as long as you sort of keep a torch with you, it's more or less okay normally. So I have basically made a rule up that you're not allowed to wear any clothes that the game gives you, and you're also not allowed to buy any from vendors. So when I started this out, I'm pretty sure I wore clothes for a little bit until I decided what I wanted to do. And then I take them over to the vendor and I sell them all, but I forgot to sell my shoes. So then later on I end up selling my shoes. So then we end up with no clothes at all. Obviously the game gives you underwear, so don't worry, you're not going to see anything. But yeah, so I just think that way it just makes it a little bit harder. So that the only time that I'm allowed to wear clothes is if I make them myself in the sewing hut. Another rule I've made up in this in these episodes is basically I'm not allowed to steal from any villages, any settlements, anything like that. I'm not allowed to steal from bandit camps and stuff like that. It's absolutely fine. But I'm not allowed to steal from any chests or anything like that. Reason being, when I first played this, just after the update where you were allowed horses and stuff, I went round and was basically like, as long as you're sneaky, you can steal from one village's chests and stuff, completely loot the whole village, go to the next village and sell the whole lot, and then steal from there, go to the next village, sell the whole lot, and just keep doing that, basically. But it just makes the game too easy, and I wanted this to be a harder version of what I normally play, but not too hard to the point where it's just not playable. So I'm not allowed to steal anything at all from any villages. If I find any bandit camps or any barrels or anything like that, I'm allowed to take whatever's in them. But I'm not allowed to take anything from people's chests, to steal any loot from outside the houses of the villagers or anything like that, just because it makes it that little bit harder. So with these rules, I have found that money is quite an issue. So if anyone knows any sort of money-making tips, please comment them down below, because even 6 episodes in, I still struggle to sort of make the ends meet with the taxes. Because yes, the taxes are at... It sounds like I'm saying taxis. Like, no, taxes. They're also at 200% as well. So they're going to be double. Which does make it slightly harder. But anyway, enough with my jibber-jabbing. Let's get on with the video. So I'm just going to sort of expand the village a little bit. I'll skip this bit for you rather than bore you. So I'll be back in 3, 2, 1. So this ends up taking way longer than I expected it to. So I've just chopped all these trees and stuff down. We've added a couple more houses. Currently trying to make the barn so that then we can start getting some more bits and bobs sorted. But this took me well over an hour to sort of chop all these trees down and get some stuff, because the problem was that each time I chopped a tree down and was like trying to build stuff, because the wood need from the villagers that I've already got is at 200%, they're using more wood than I can produce. So I'm sort of battling at the moment, trying to get enough wood, like enough firewood, and also try and get this stuff built, because we need the sort of basics built. We need things like a barn, we need stuff like a farming field completely done, which obviously behind me it's not done yet. We need things like the little farming hut thing, which lets villagers go out and sort of tend to the crops and We need to bring some animals in. We need more houses. Like, it's a lot. There's a lot to think about, which is why I absolutely love this game. Like, this is one of my all-time favorite games. I love watching gameplay on it. I think it's just a brilliant game. I think there's a lot of stuff that they could add to this game as well, which makes it even better. But yeah, the autumn update is quite nice. I've sort of got a bit used to it now. But yeah, if you haven't got it already, make sure you download it. It is a great game. I'm really, really enjoying it so far. I mean, I think I've got like on my gaming laptop, I think I've got like over 100 hours of gameplay on there, which isn't as much as so many people. Like I think Cage848 had like, I was watching his videos on The Infected. He had like over 5,000 hours of gameplay or something ridiculous, and that's his favorite game. But yeah, I don't think I'm gonna get near 5,000. But yeah, we're just trying to get this barn sorted, get the houses sorted. At the minute, the houses are being made out of sticks and logs and stuff, like to make the sort of wicker walls and stuff like that, because eventually I do upgrade it into like stone, and like bigger houses and things like that. But there's not really much point doing that now because we want to try and get the houses built, get the people in. I also didn't realise as well that the better the house is, the happier the villagers are. I'm pretty sure it's to do with the cold and things like that. Whoa, Harry Potter, what you doing? Yeah, I thought it was to do with like the cold and stuff, but I thought firewood, surely that would warm the people up and then they'd be absolutely fine and then they'd get happier. And then things like moving in with someone and then becoming like husband and wife, I thought that would make them happier. But I'm not quite sure entirely on the happiness of villagers and how you get the happiness up. But I'm going to find out as much as I can throughout this playthrough alongside you guys, because I haven't actually played this game an awful lot. I've played it like quite a bit, but more at sort of beginner level. I wouldn't say I'm very advanced in the game or I know a lot about the game. So we can sort of learn through it together, basically. Also, as well, guys, I am very aware that I say quite a lot. It's because my brain gets so distracted. I have ADHD, so well, I've just done it again. I just get really distracted by things, especially while I'm doing gameplay and stuff like that. I do tend to get very distracted with things like this because my brain just sort of veers off and then I have to try and remember what I was talking about again. So that's why I say quite a lot. So you are going to have to bear with me. I know it is kind of annoying. I'll try and edit out all the times I say but there might be some where I actually can't. I've just done it again. Now that I've spoken about it, I'm going to notice it and you guys are going to notice it more. So I'm going to skip through a little bit of this. I'm just basically changing some bits and bobs. I'm going to put my house in there because I found out that obviously if you're playing a multiplayer on the online on Oxbow, then you can have more than one child because you have one child per player. But when obviously your villagers are in here, they can have as many children as there are beds. So during this playthrough, there's no point in me and the wife that I get and eventually the kids that I have. We can only have one, ideally. It would be better if we could have more than one, because obviously if you have a child and it's a boy but you wanted a girl, or a girl but you wanted a boy, I don't really know what you do in that situation on this game. So it would be nice if you could have like multiple children and choose your heir depending on the child's skill sets and stuff like that. Then obviously you become the heir. That would be more, I think that would be like a better option. But anyway, I'm rambling on. So the house that I'm going to live in is not going to be one of the biggest houses. I know that I'm obviously sort of CEO of the village. I don't really know what you'd call it. Maybe the mayor of the village. But yeah, I'm not gonna. There's no point me having a massive house. So the way I'm gonna go and do it is starting off with really small houses. For I've realised as well they're called wattle, not wicker walls. So we're gonna start off with those houses first. and then when the villagers get married, they will then move up into the bigger houses. I think that's how we're going to do it. I'm not too sure though. We'll have to sort of see more towards the end on what we do. But I really, really want this playthrough to sort of go quite a long way, because I've always got to a certain point and then stopped. So I've always got to where sort of like the smithy and stuff gets to like level 2, and then I don't play it anymore for a while, and then I jump back onto it. But I want this playthrough to actually last quite a long time, so that then I can actually see what happens, and then obviously do the King's Quest as well. That's a new thing that's come with the update. Really want to get that sorted. But a lot of the things that the King requests, there's like, I've seen it on some people's on the Facebook group that I'm in, and like some of the things that he asks for is just ridiculous. So we'll sort of see how we get on. But yeah, I'm going to skip this bit until sort of everything's sort of at a standard level, until I sort of go exploring and stuff like that. So I'll see you in a jiffy. Don't know if you guys could tell by that, but I have put on fast crafting and fast building. I don't want you guys to give me shit for it, but it's a fucking nightmare. Whenever you're building stuff and crafting stuff, it takes so much time to try and get them all sorted. Sorry, I've got the hiccups. And it's not a case of making it easier or harder. It's just more, it just takes up so much time. It's so time consuming. And rather than having the whole video based on us hammering walls, I just wanted to sort of get it over and done with, so then we can sort of carry on with the videos and there'll be more interesting things on there. Sorry about that, guys. I just had to take a little minute. I've got the worst hiccups. I think it's just because I've just had my sausage sandwich and now my belly's going all like... So yeah, we're just sort of like looking at our skills on here, because I haven't actually checked them at this point for quite some time, which is a bit embarrassing considering there's only 2 skill points on there, so I thought there would have been a lot more. I do think that they can do a lot more with the skill points that are on there, because personally I don't think they're that great, and they don't really help out a lot. Obviously the mule one helps out with your carry weight and stuff like that. You know, some people might not have the same opinion as me, but I do think that it's there could be a lot better stuff with the skills, because more or less you can make virtually everything before like leveling up in any sort of way. There's no sort of really levels to this, is there? It's just more the fact of getting all the resources and building more houses. So I suppose it could be like one house is level 1, another house is level 2, that sort of thing. But it'd be nice to have like an experience bar, I think, on this, and you know, not make it easy to access certain things. And when you do access those certain things, like worse things then happen from that. So let's say you can now get armor, but that means that there's going to be more predators about. There's going to be different types of predators. There's going to be more people who are like bandits, or like medieval characters that come into play that can potentially attack your village. There's so many things that this game could expand on, which I touched lightly on in the first episode. Like, you could have like a army training camp, and you sort of build your fortresses up and make sure your defenses are there, so that when you're off out exploring, that you're not leaving your village sort of at the hands to the wrong people. Like, the villagers can defend themselves, assign different sort of duties to people, so that then if you do get attacked, everybody knows what they're doing and that sort of thing. I think there's big potentials for this game. I haven't unlocked far away bits in this game either. So, like, I don't know if in this game there is like a horse and cart. I know eventually you can ride a horse and a donkey, but I don't actually know if there's like a cart that you can take with you, because that would be so good if you could strap like one of these carts onto one of the horses or something like that, and you'd just be able to like go to the mines and just completely fill it up, and yeah, all good things like that. So I've just found a fell over cart over here, but I do find it's quite hard to like find little bits. Sometimes you have to proper look around them, because there will be bits that you miss. So it would be nice if maybe one of the skill points is when you sort of like do your enhanced vision, where you can see stones and droplets of blood from the animals you're hunting. Might also be good if you can also see a little bit of loot on the floor. Like, like if you were to shoot an arrow at an animal and miss, you can see like, oh, the copper arrow's over there. It might be good if you could actually see, bits and bobs from broken down like trailers and barrels and stuff like that are all lying on the floor, especially in bandit camps, because sometimes I've walked past some without realising it, and there's been like little knives hidden inside the tents, and then you've got to crawl and make sure that you can actually grab it. Makes it a little bit harder sometimes, but all good things like that. So on this part, it might not look like it, but I'm actually trying to hunt foxes. As you can see by the quest in the top right hand corner, I find foxes one of the hardest things to see in this, because they blend in so well with like the foliage and like different trees and stuff, and they're so quick. So like I'm okay with the arrow, like the bow and arrow set, I'd say, but actually shooting a animal whilst it's moving, I think on this game is so hard, because by the time you finally get round to them and you think you got in for a clear shot, you've run out of stamina, and then it goes all over the place. So it would be nice that, if you use it for a certain amount of time, you can level yourself up with the bow, so that then, you can get skill points where you can, hold your breath and stuff like that. Like, it would be good if the game had like little bits and bobs like that as well. I've played this game for like a few times and been around this sort of area when I've played it, and just behind my character there's like a cave, and I know that there's 2 bears there. I haven't yet actually killed them on this playthrough, but on my old playthrough that I did, I don't think I actually ended up uploading that one. But I did kill 2 of them, because I managed to glitch myself into the rocks, and for whatever reason they couldn't get up and get me. So then I was just pinging arrows at them from above, and eventually managed to kill them. But I'm hoping that when we actually go kill them, I can fight them like a man, and I won't have to go and hide on the bunch of rocks. But we shall see. I don't think on this bit I end up actually killing a fox, like as in completing the quest, or maybe one pops out. So I'm going to fast forward a little bit and just see if we end up killing both foxes. So far I managed to get one more, but I haven't actually explored any of these abandoned villages yet in this playthrough. So this time I did, but I'm being very cautious, because the last time I was in this one exactly, there was bandits that swarmed all over me and like killed me. Not on this playthrough, but on a different playthrough that I've done. and it's the only time. And I must have played this game probably like 10 times over by now. Not for very long each time, but like I have definitely explored this area more than once, and I've only ever been attacked here once by bandits. And then there's another one that's like past Pastovia. If you go up and then to the right, and there's like loads of deers and stuff there. If you go right and then keep going straight, there's another house there, and I got attacked by bears there. But I'm pretty sure bears don't spawn there. So, but that was all through the same playthrough. So I don't know whether my game had glitched and it sort of messed up the spawns of the animals and the bandits and stuff. But yeah, it was very annoying because every time I'd die, I'd go back to my village and then go there again, and they would still be there, obviously. But yeah, it was very frustrating. I have played this game as well in third person because I think it's just better. You get a better view of things. I think, viewing it in sort of like first. I don't know if I've got that the right way around actually. So like where you can see the whole entire character. I'm pretty sure that's third person, but that's the way that I play it throughout this whole playthrough. Reason being, I just think it's just better. I think it looks better, it feels better. I think when you're doing bits and bobs, I think you can just see a lot more. So that's the way that I decided to play it in this playthrough. But yeah, let's see if we can get that fox. So guys, we managed to kill one. We're on our last one and I've just spotted him there. I remember as soon as I seen him, I was just like, I needed to get this shot off. And we ended up hitting him once. And then luckily he runs back towards us, so I'm able to get him again. Wait for it. What a shot. But that was such a fluke. I'm not gonna lie, like normally I wouldn't have got that shot off, but it's the fact that he ran back to me first and then ran forward again. So I was able to get the shot on him. But when I completed this quest, I cannot tell you how happy I was. Because there's two quests that I hate doing, and it's foxes, hunting wolves, and three actually. Hunting foxes, hunting wolves, and selling rot to the vendors, like as in like going to get like 8 rot, I think that's what it is. Because rot, I'm pretty sure you can only get by dropping it on the floor for an entire season, or it going mouldy over ages in your chests, basically. And I was finding rot really hard to get because you can't buy it off vendors or anything like that. And then also wolves, I feel like earlier on in the game can just kill you so quickly because they normally travel in packs. One's okay, I can do one, but it normally asks you to kill like 4. So by the time you've looked for 1 or 2, you've more than likely jumped into a pack of them. And when you've only got like a bow or something like that, then doesn't really leave you with much time. I've just died there because I left. I think pretty sure I was starving. I was starving and didn't have any food, and I didn't want to eat raw meat, but on this game you die and you respawn back in your sort of hut anyway, so I just didn't quite make it back in time. So on this, obviously I've got fast crafting on, so just cooking up some meat and stuff to give it to my villagers. They at this point are absolutely rinsing me. Like, I found this point probably the hardest point of the game because I just couldn't get it right. Like, I couldn't get enough woodcutters in. I couldn't get enough food in. They were wanting so much from me, and I feel like I just didn't have the time in the day to try and get it sorted for them. The one thing that's never been an issue is water, because it's literally right there in front of us. And I used to just fill the buckets up, make like 10 buckets, fill the buckets up, and then you're good to go, basically. I did have to buy the first 10 buckets because I didn't have a workshop in order to make them. But as soon as you've got a workshop, water is absolutely easy to get. I never build a well on this because I don't really see the need to until you're further on in the game, when you don't really have time to just constantly be filling buckets up. So later on in the game, I normally make flatbreads. And flatbreads, you need water and flour. Flour you get a ridiculous amount from a tiny bit of wheat. So I normally go for flatbreads. As you can see, there's only 3 people in my village, and it is still I think this is where it starts to become an issue. So what we're going to do, guys, we're going to leave it there. So we've got our barn now. We've got a couple of extra houses. We're at a much more stable position. I'm pretty sure this is where I try and get a wife sorted. Like try and talk to a wife. Try and get some more people in the village. So we've got an extra person now, so that makes 4 people. I think I did rush into this a little bit too much. I think I got people in way too quickly, but it meant that I built my village a lot more quicker. So it depends on what way you want to play it. If you want to play it in the way that you want a big village quickly, you need to get as many people in as you can, because the more people you get in, the sort of more automated it becomes, because you get more woodcutters in, you get more people making like water, cooking the food for you, and then before you know it, you don't have to really do anything other than build houses. And then eventually you get people to build houses for you, I'm pretty sure. But I've never actually got to that point. So yeah, so we're going to leave the episode there. I'll see you guys in the next one. Make sure you like, subscribe, leave any comments, any pointers and stuff that you guys have would be great. So yeah, I'll see you in the next one.